Hello neighbor, I'm Robert Burns, Vice President of the Louisiana Association of Professional Auctioneers, or LAPA for short. The webpage you're on now is dedicated to really reinforcing the premise that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And I'm just going to tell you, I could line up a ton of auction victims who say they wish they'd have conducted this type of due diligence before they were hoodwinked, either on the bidding side or on the consigning side. Now, yes, it takes a little bit of effort, but if you prevent the problem, you save yourself not just a little bit of effort, but a whole lot of useless exercise. I'm going to tell you why it's useless. I'm going to be blunt. The LALB is comprised of 5 auctioneers and 2 consumer members. The consumer members, by and large, just cronies that are involved in the auction industry, okay? That being the case, it is extremely difficult. It's not impossible. It does happen. But it is extremely difficult to get an adverse ruling by the LALB against an auctioneer. Now, why does that pose such a problem? Well, auctioneers are required to carry a bond, it's a $10,000 bond, to indemnify a potential victim. But here's the thing. If the auctioneer's licensing board does not find the auctioneer guilty, the bonding company says there was no violation. According to the licensing authority, we're not going to pay. And I can't tell you how many times that has happened. Okay, so that's one reason that an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, because if you believe there's security and a sense of comfort in the fact that that auctioneer is bonded, you are living in a fantasy world. It is next to impossible to collect against an auctioneer bond. It's not impossible, but it is extremely difficult. The average auctioneer pays a premium of approximately $36, maybe $42 a year for that bond. Okay? That ought to tell you something about how difficult it is to collect against that bond. Now, secondly, if the auctioneer licensing board does not find the auctioneer guilty of a violation, it's equally difficult to prevail in civil court. The court is going to say, well, the licensing authority didn't see where there was a violation committed here. That's why taking a little bit of time to do an ounce of prevention is so worth it, because it is so difficult to recover from an auctioneer after the fact, either in court, through the bond, and I'm just going to let you in on one little secret. A significant number of auctioneers are flat broke. Okay? It's just a reality. Hence, even if you go to court and even if you get the judgment against the auctioneer, and that was on the premise that maybe the LALB found fault with him, which is a major hurdle to cross, good luck collecting on your judgment, because as I said, you have a significant number of auctioneers that are operating that have nothing to lose. They're flat broke. You've also got a number of auctioneers who have felony convictions. All you have to do is go over to that option number 2, the index of auctioneer issues. You'll see quite a few convicted felons. All right? You have auctioneers who have auctioned stolen merchandise. That type of situations happen. Do you really think those folks are laying around or sitting around with the cash to write you a check for your judgment? That's even if you prevail. So that's why it's so important to do the ounce of prevention. Now, what do we demonstrate in the ounce of prevention? Obviously, option number 2 that we have on this website, the index of auctioneers, is a tremendous benefit to you. But also, you have the right to go in and inspect the auctioneer's file. We give you the information about the LALB. Now, bear in mind, like I said, it's a little bit of the fox guarding the hen house. So don't be surprised if you find out that they were brought up for thus and so, but the LALB found them not guilty. It's a frequent occurrence. Nevertheless, I'd recommend, if you're only talking about auctioning off $150 worth of merchandise, yeah, it's probably not worth it. But if you're talking about something significant, or you're talking about an estate sale, it's well worth the time to say, I want to view that auctioneer's file. Drop by the LALB office. At the date I'm filming this, it's on South Sherwood, right behind the Whitney Bank on the corner of Sherwood and Newcastle. That may not be the location at the time that you go in, because they periodically may find a cheaper lease or whatnot. But that's one avenue that we say is an ounce of prevention. A critical one, and on many instances this is available online. You may have to take out a one-day subscription, or you can get an attorney to do so. Do a court background check. Do it in the clerk of court's office for the parish in which the auctioneer operates. That's the key parish to go to. Also go to the Secretary of State's website and make sure you have any DBAs doing business as, because sometimes that's the name you'll need to run on a courthouse search. Take a look at litigation, okay? If it's not viewable online, you certainly have every right to go into that clerk of court's office, request the file. There's no charge for viewing it. Now, if you decide you want to make copies, that's a different story, and it's frequently 50 cents a page and whatnot. But I'm telling you right now, it's well worth the effort. I'll again revert back to, do you want to spend the time cleaning up a mess or helping to prevent a mess? Take a little bit of time to do a courthouse search to see if this auctioneer's had a pair of lawsuits, tax liens, being sued by regulatory bodies. Those are type things that can be quite beneficial in ascertaining the trustworthiness of your auctioneer or your prospective auctioneer. Lastly, you can do a federal search, and that is free. Well, let me rephrase that. It's free to the extent that you view, I don't know, approximately 100 or 150 pages, which is a lot of pages in a given quarter. You'll find that on the PACER system. That's Public Access to Court Electronic Records. You can just Google PACER website. We've got a direct link. You just go in, you create an account. As I said, for the viewing, it is free. Now, they do charge for viewing whether you print it or save it or not. If you view it, you pay on PACER, okay? But they waive any fee for a calendar quarter that's not in excess of, I believe, $15. You just look up the specifics of what's free. It's either 100 or 150 pages. You're always told how much your charge is going to be, but bear in mind it's waived at the end of every calendar quarter if you don't go over that particular amount. And most times you wouldn't if all you're doing is researching a given auctioneer. So this is Robert Burns giving you some hints, or actually some great guidance, compliments of the Louisiana Association of Professional Auctioneers as to how you can help avoid a problematic auction situation by just doing a little bit of diligence on the front end. And I can't emphasize it enough, an ounce of prevention is going to be worth more than a pound of cure if you're talking about the auction industry. So this is Robert Burns, and we hope you'll enjoy all of the rest of the website. Reverend Freddie Phillips, this was his initial envision because when he sat on the LALB, as did I, we saw numerous elderly victims. All right, and that is what served as the impetus on this website and help provide guidance to keep those type things from happening. Has the LALB fought us on making this stuff public to you? They have fought us tooth and nail, okay? Which would beg the question, why are you fighting this so much? All right? So, with that, I would encourage you to go over options 1, 2, and 3 on the website. They are consumer options designed to help prevent you from experiencing a problematic auction situation. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, this is Robert Burns, Vice President of the Louisiana Association of Professional Auctioneers. We hope you have nothing but pleasurable experience and satisfying experience at any auction you would attend in the state of Louisiana. Thank you so much.